Hey, cause I'm telling you, them comments let you know what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you might be saying something that's totally wrong, and there's somebody that was right there and seen it. Hey, I'm trying to redirect you. And like the game that last game, I didn't know nothing about it, so we was on here.
All right, folks, Free Game Podcast, episode 50. We half 100 up in this joint. We got our luxurious host.
Big Money Dre. Ace Cash, and this is the Free Game Podcast where everything counts, but the game is free, baby. Let's get it. Today we got a guest. I'm the host.
Okay.
But we got one of the guests that y'all been waiting, anticipating. One of those kids, you know what I'm saying? One of those kids that you got to put some respect on his name. I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hey, my name is Njoku, a third, and I'm a wide receiver from DEA.
Man,
the Nigerian nightmare himself. And introduce yourself, Pops.
I'm Pops Prince Njoku Jr., father of Prince.
Okay.
Well, you're one of the less vocal kids of killers out here, so this is interesting to be able to finally get to pick your brain.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, you don't talk a lot at all.
So
on the field, I don't know how you can.
A silent killer is the best killer.
Yeah.
But so where are you from? Where y'all from?
Texas.
Denton, Texas. Okay. And what grade are you in?
Well, my father's Nigerian. My father's Nigerian. My mom is from Dallas, so that's where we get the name from.
Yeah.
My father's the senior, I'm the junior, third.
Okay.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, they got their roots traced back. A lot of us of our race, we don't have our roots traced back, so that's real important that y'all got there now, for real, man.
Nah, for sure. And go ahead.
Okay, all right, man. It's a bunch I've been wanting to see you guys. I've been wanting to ask you questions. And before we get into the football, I want to get into the father-son dynamic of you two and how y'all do y'all thing. So on a daily routine, what does you got from going through football to just y'all eat breakfast together? What does that look like as far as his schedule and his training goes?
Well, normal morning, he go to school, but like on the weekdays, it's either baseball or football. Usually right now it's baseball season. So regardless of what season it is, we practice baseball every day. Try to, it's a sport that you got to kind of stay consistent with. It's a real fundamental and mechanical sport. So you got to make sure you're on top of that. As far as his speed and agility and things like that, we mix that in. When football season come around, we more or less focus on more of that, but we still do our little baseball things. We still play foul ball. So we just kind of keep it consistent and set it up from there. We got a lot of good people helping us out too, like J-Rod, Kamal. I trust in a lot of people.
Commit. Yeah, that's my guy. My baby trained with him too. Yeah.
But I try to just be his father.
For sure.
That's why I got the other people to help out, because I want to keep the father-son dynamic. It's not be his coach.
Yes, sir.
Always getting on him about stuff. I want to be his father at home.
Yes, sir. I respect that, because with a lot of kids that's that talented, the father is most of the time outright. Because we had some on here. You done seen the show. So you see and you a different type of father. It's like you're the polar opposite of that. You're a little bit more, like when I see a father, I see a dad. I don't, you know what I'm saying, more of a, and I ain't gonna say no slave driver, nothing like that, but it's more of a like you said, a coach. Yeah. Somebody so the coaching is at the house, and it never stops, but you know what I'm saying, you guys, y'all relationship is different. I don't, and then with you, another thing, there's not a lot of rah-rah that come from your end.
It used to be, I didn't calm down a lot, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. They getting older now,
Yeah.
It's a lot of eyes. I don't, me myself, as his father, I don't want to ruin anything that could come his way just from how I'm acting or how I'm presenting myself.
Well respected.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so I worry about that a lot because when he was 6'7", I wasn't worried about that a lot. I thought I had time. As you get older, people that you respect coming up to you, letting you know that it's different things, different ways that you can do things.
For sure.
I started really focusing on trying to put a good foot forward for my son.
So, and I tell people that, and I'm reading. And the reason when I have my guests on here, we have a lot of, me personally, have a lot of questions for the parent because for me, it's no Nigerian nightmare without you.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like for what we installing our kids. So you know what I'm saying? So a lot of probably what he doing, he owes a lot of that to you and what you do and how you do it for him.
And he work hard, man.
For sure.
Like it's mainly on him. I have an older son,
Okay.
He's 22.
Okay.
He was involved in football.
Okay.
But he grew up watching him, but he didn't have the same work ethic or drive that he has, and that's the only difference.
Exactly.
And in the kids is the work ethic and drive, how much they want to do it.
So
and he could tomorrow say, I don't want to do none of this shit.
For sure.
So, and I'm prepared for that.
You good with it?
Yeah.
Nah, for sure.
That's why I kind of, try to open him up to more things, be more or less grounded, and try to let him know that he's just not an athlete. He can do
anything. For sure.
Yeah.
So, do you mind me asking? What sports do you love the most? Like, what do you enjoy? Now, you gonna say
that's
love,
a good question.
But, like, what like?
Do you have a favorite?
Do you have a favorite? You play all of them phenomenal, and you can choose if you want to ask it. Because I always give my kids, I don't want to ever put you in a situation. So if you want to say, Coach Dre, I want to pass on that, it's cool. But which one do you love the most? Baseball.
That's crazy.
I love baseball.
That's
too.
crazy. No, I like it too.
I played.
And you did.
But because I got to the point where I played shortstop and I played first base. But long story, when I was coming up, I was like it was 2 blacks on the team. But I loved it because it wasn't no more hitting. And then I was like, I played shortstop and I say my hand-eye coordinate out. And I could play it, and I was like, damn, I could steal base. I was fast.
I was
like,
catcher, so
and I ain't got to get hit no more either. I ain't got to get hit no more. So y'all tell me I can do this, and I ain't got to get hit no more. And this, I can get the same type of enjoyment. I love baseball.
To his point, baseball is a lot more complex because it's a lot more technique.
Yeah, it definitely is.
Hand-eye coordination is
You can't just be athletic and play.
You can't just be athletic and play that.
No, it don't.
And
equate.
it's not an emotional game either.
No, it's not.
And it's helped him. And he used to be, rah, but it's helped him. Playing baseball has helped him control those emotions on the football field and kind of keep them in check because you got to finish the game. You can't get in your emotions and get.
So how old was y'all when y'all first started baseball?
3.
Y'all was 3? So, and so everybody said the baseball is something you got to start early now if you want to be kind of good, huh?
Yeah, it's like you said, Ben, especially in the black community, it's not. To play on the level of baseball we play, it's a big commitment. You know what I'm saying? A lot of those kids, even when we came to the team that we were on down when we were 6, man, you should have seen the kids and the level of the game they were playing. And I think him playing with those kids and us working helped them kind of catch up. But yeah, it's a very technical game. A lot of these kids that's playing like travel, they've been doing it for that long, and they work at it every day. It's gonna come a time to where those kids are gonna catch up. It's gonna even the playing field because in baseball they working when they playing football.
No, for
you know what I'm saying? So that's why we kind of try to stay in some type of groove with it.
Yeah.
So y'all are with DEA right now, football wise.
Yeah, definitely.
And I see this is y'all second year over there.
Mm-hmm.
Man, how did y'all liked it? It was good chemistry when y'all.
Yeah, we really did. We really do. Courtney, Rob.
Shout out to Courtney.
Yeah, those guys, they know what they're doing. And like I said, I didn't want to coach my son anymore. I wanted to get him with people that I feel that could push him and get him ready for the next level, because they know they've had other kids and have helped them get to those next levels, with whether it be their connections, whether it be them just pushing them in practice. And that's what I wanted for my son.
So can I ask you a question? I'm gonna let you get the flow back. The father. So how did you start with him? Like, how did figuring out where to actually put him in? Like, was you just like when he started off? Like, who did you start off with when y'all first started football? Like,
when we first started football, we started in Denton.
Okay.
We played with the Denton Raiders, right? And it was 5U.
Okay.
And we was in tech sports.
Okay.
Get the shit beat out of us, right?
Okay.
So, but we was on our level. We made it to the playoffs and whatnot. But we played, everybody went to the playoffs. You know?
Yes, sir.
But just played, realized that that's where we wanted to be, where that level of competition was. The organization that we were at in Denton, they got out the league. So that's when we went to Pac Prime in 6 years. Okay. Yeah. So when I saw him compete against all these kids and he was able to do it, then that's when I knew that he needed to be against those kids, against that level of competition.
So how do you decide? So because you went from PAC to TNX, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was just the competitive that kept you like in the leagues, the Texas.
Yeah,
sport,
the competition, going around, because I always, man, if my son was gonna do it, and I'm gonna sit here and talk about how he doing this and doing that, I need to see him doing it against
the best,
to see if it's really that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, and on top of that, just for his development, I'm putting him in his training. I need to see if the training's translating, things like that. He started training. Dupree Jones was who we initially started training with. We still train with him sometimes at Jones Performance, but he really broke things down the trade, got his footwork right, because naturally he kind of a clumsy kid. He's lanky and like this. So got his footwork right and just broke it down from the basics, and we just.
So do you think? Do you think like, in your opinion, do you think that the select world matters? Do it matter if you put your kid in the select world? Do you think, do it make them better, or do you, like, if you had to ask, if I came to you as a father and said, hey, do you think putting my kid over here with $1 to make him better, or can I keep him over here?
Man, to be honest with you, it's different for every kid.
Okay.
I initially thought, oh yes, it's straight select, that's where you need to be, but some kids come at it at different times. Some kids, things click at different times.
Sure.
Some kids don't catch on as fast. But when they do catch on, you put them over there and you see what it is. But it's really not for everybody. Like that'd be like me saying everybody in select can come to DEA. Like that, and that ain't for everybody. It's a certain type of mentality and attitude that goes along with being over unselfishness. Like, when I first went over there, it wasn't no guarantee that he was gonna be wide receiver. It still ain't. That shit is
You had to
competitive.
work for it.
Yeah, that shit is competitive. Ain't nothing just given to you,
So,
and that's the type of environment that I want my son in, right?
I mean, that's life though.
That's exactly
Life ain't nothing given to you.
And when he goes to the next level, my say so, what I got to say don't mean anything. You don't have to work and prove that on the field to your coach. I'm not your coach. There's only so much I can do for you. I can help you. I can support you and put you in that position to help you get there. But you don't have to do the rest of the work. Get the trust of the coach. Put in the work. Show yourself as a leader. Things like that.
So as far as the work, is his work ethic natural towards this, or because I see him up here all the time. I see him working. Every time I see him, I see him working. Is it natural for him? Or is it kind of, you gotta kind of push him to get out there?
No, it's like he ready to go hit right now after we leave here. I done got him a new bat, so he ready to go get some work in. But I mean, he a normal kid, man. He got days where he don't want to do shit.
For real.
But for the most part, I just communicate to him that the success that you receive is because of the work that you put. People like you, all that, that's cool and fine, but it'll go away in an instant. The minute you decide
you
to
go
stop
there.
working. But like you said, they go with life as well.
For sure.
So I try to give him like real life situations. Like, you know, a couple of weeks ago he was going through a slump in baseball, right? But I told him, I was like, bro, like, we go through slumps in life. Hell, me and your mom go through slumps.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we fight through it, work through it.
Exactly.
And keep working and everything gets better. You know what I'm saying?
See, and my thing is this, y'all tapping, y'all getting here. I think that, you know, people just look at the green grass, they don't understand the hard work that comes behind it. The downfalls,
but it's failure too.
Exactly. But failure comes with success though.
Yeah, it's
you
failure.
have to fail to be successful.
And you got to think, the higher you climb, the further you fall.
Failure
So,
fall.
you know what I'm saying? Like, and he's done climbed it. So when he comes short of any kind of glory, everybody's like, oh my God. Because they're used to him being, and that got to be a lot of, is that, I want to ask you that, do you feel like there's a lot of pressure when you're on teams, like people like, we need you, you got to do it, or what's your mind frame towards that?
It's really nothing. It's really not no pressure at all.
No pressure at all?
No.
It's just what you do.
Yeah.
All right, man.
No, for sure.
All right, man. Yeah, I like that.
And that's what, and to be honest with you, that's what a dog is. When it's showtime, it ain't no pressure, you know. I mean, this is what it's showtime.
Exactly.
I told my son that today, man. When you see the crowd, that's what it is. I don't want to hear mommy up there. Yeah, you see it. I don't want to hear it's time, time to put on. That's what you made for. That's what he get you. That's what y'all practice
I think
for.
what some parents don't
you know?
understand is when you as a father, if you in tune, you a real father, you know what your kid is capable of.
Yeah.
So if your kid's on a certain end of the scale at a certain point, you know what you're supposed to be getting from him. Yeah. So sometimes people will see how I talk to Dre. When I coach, I never talk to any of the other kids like I talk to my son. Yeah. Because I knew the other kids weren't capable of getting to that level. I know what my son's half-assing. Like, to everybody else, it may look like he's putting on a great performance because we scoring and all, but I know that I can get more out of him. So that's something that you deal with.
And that's kind of the reason why, you know, I took him to Courtney. You know, I had seen what he had done with other kids in the past and the level that he was pushing them to, you know.
For sure.
And that's the level that I want him to be pushed at, but I don't want to do it.
For sure.
Because that could cause that rift between the father and son. I just want to be the person that
Man, I think every parent see that. They come that they see that say, now he got my voice. Yeah. Remember that what I was telling y'all with Papa, he just a voice that you know that can actually that's my voice, man. I ain't got to do it. But when you slacking, you ain't doing nothing, he's gonna push you to the limit. It's hard to find them coaches.
It's very hard to find them.
But coaching is important. I was on the team. I'm not gonna name no names. I had a coach, you know what I'm saying, and then I was letting them I would drop my son off because I had to go film, and he'd drop him back off the crib. And one day, I had went to go pick him up. He was like, "Oh man, we always go out to eat after practice." I'm like, "All right, let's see what we got to go eat." This man was taking my son to Papa Do's after practice, ordering full platters. So he went to a pizza place this time. He ordered 4 pizzas. It was 3 of us. So you really got to check out who coaching. You got to be in tune. You know what I'm saying? Well, who coaching your kids, bro? Some of them just trying to keep your kid happy so they can keep the kid.
Yeah, definitely, but not really doing what's best for them. Yeah. Not pushing them, you know.
So, I mean, y'all done had some great runs, man. Y'all done been with PAG. Y'all had a great run with TNS. Y'all done had a great run with DEA. Are y'all gonna finish out with y'all going back to DEA this year?
Yeah, we definitely finish it with them. For 11U and 12U.
Okay.
Damn, so you locked in,
Yeah. I want to ask a question. What has been your favorite team to play for? DEA. That's the one. What about baseball?
The same team.
On one team.
Yeah.
So that shows that
since 6 years.
So and then you'll see me going back to your dad because, like I said, I want you to feel comfortable. But then again, I respect you as a kid. So in the interviews, I go back to you a lot. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody be like free game first. We love the kids here, so we want to ask you. So I want to ask you like, what was your best? Who was your best experience with since you didn't have Trey with?
Man, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's been great experiences with all of them.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to PAC team, they always great team.
We had a lot of fun at PAC Prime. We was there from flag and we transitioned to tackle. You know, so we was flag transition to tackle.
So was he always this dog? Well, like since a kid, like he just
since
he just come out.
Yeah, since flag, he been doing this, but it's been a constant progression, bro. That ain't happened just cause him, and we work on them weaknesses every offseason to try to add something and get better, you know.
Okay.
But yeah, those Pac Prime years, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Ooh, you know, you kind of walked me into
those were-
something I want you to talk about too, bro. I want to talk about the importance, because Prince is someone who spends a lot of time outside of the pads.
Yeah.
I want you to talk about the importance of your off-season regimen and how much time you guys actually spend doing training without pads on, that you're not constantly out here hitting.
Yeah, we not. We in pads right now, but we kind of flowing in because we have early games. But in football, if you got a dog, they gonna be a dog. They gonna hit. You know, they already know how to hit. Like right now, we in pads, but we not really doing a lot of hitting because the coaches already know the kids know how to hit. But as far as the off-season development, man, especially at the age that he is right now, he 11, turning 12, and he hit puberty. It's important to build his body up, you know, kind of strengthen his core.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much for every year. It's important to just develop a man without the pads, so they can know how to move and actually how to functionally move when they do get in them. Be able to carry the weight of those pads, you know, and still be effective as they would be without the pads.
Exactly.
I don't think we talk enough about, like, let's say he's a dog. So if I put him in game time situation with pads on, we just keep playing games, he's gonna do the things that make him a dog. So he's gonna be high point balls, but he's never gonna really have to work on the weaknesses because he's so cold. There's not really people at this time who can exploit those weaknesses.
Exactly.
So if you're not spending time outside the pads to work on stuff that you're seeing as a parent or the coach is seeing, you're never gonna fix those things. Those problems get even worse.
Well, like last year, that's why we got him come out. Like he didn't really run good routes. You know, he uses high.
He came in with that flat board.
Yeah, exactly.
Where he gotta press your ankle all day.
Yeah.
Yeah, when he came here, my son was like, his legs was doing this.
Yeah,
He's like,
so we've been working with him for about a year.
I ain't never seen no trainer do that.
Yeah, so it's different, man.
Yeah.
But he long, like I told you, he kind of, it's hard for him to really get coordinated like that.
Yeah.
But, you know, he helped him with that. So those are the things that, you know, I see as a parent. And as a parent, you have to be honest with yourself and know what your kids' weaknesses are. And if you want,
Did y'all hear that?
if you want to build them and push them forward, then you gotta actually be honest with yourself and work on this.
No, for sure. For sure.
You know,
And I was telling some people that I was like, you have to look at your kid's weakness and be able to tell yourself, okay, my baby need to work on his speed or he need to work on this and that. You can't just glorify what he do good. You know what I'm saying?
because the weaknesses, and you're adding value to the weakness. That's what's gonna push you ahead
For sure.
next year, going forward, things like that.
For sure. So one of the games y'all played, I watched, was a great game. Was against Habit. Man, y'all had it was a great competitive game, man. They were going back and forth. It was great. How did you feel on that wasn't it the last play you made when you made the last catch, man? But like in your head when he lined up, how was you feeling? Like, was you like, I'm finna kill you right now? How was you feeling?
Actually, I didn't know I was gonna get the ball. I thought our other teammate from Illinois, David Ice.
Okay, David
was
Ice.
gonna get
That's
the
what I
ball.
was telling you about earlier. They was fluent David Ice.
And he ran a pose. He was wide open. Then
For real?
Yeah, but Mike didn't see him. He threw it up, and I just caught.
So with that lesson there to any young receiver is that you was, but you still ran your route like he might
I might get the ball.
Yeah, because you know a lot of kids when they don't think they getting the ball, they don't run.
They don't run the route.
They don't run their route right. So they so surprised and they missed the ball, but you still ran your route just in case. Man, that was a crazy catch.
Yeah,
Man,
made
this
the
morning,
play.
man, made the play. That was a game changer, man, and I definitely give you a flowers on that.
And I've seen some crazy catches from you. Do you work on that, or is that something that happens just, spontaneously, or is that something you work on, those crazy angle catches and the one-hand catches? And
We don't work on the one-hand catches, we just work on the two-hand.
Yeah.
Like, we do those, like, basic everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then over the shoulder and over the shoulder.
Yeah.
So the one hand is that's all.
You just get crazy.
Yeah.
It's time to get crazy. Right? Man, we ain't gotta work no more. I know what I want to do. This guy, I want to put you on the poster right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Nah, that's great, bro. That's great. And like I said, man, that was one of the games that I said, man, it was crazy. And man, I seen David Ice. David Ice was a pretty good player in that game too. But your play affect the game a lot. It was crazy, bro. But I definitely want to appreciate y'all for coming in. What else you want to share?
I wanted to ask you what is outside of football? What are some of the hobbies that would just so the world can so people can get to know who? What are some of the hobbies you outside of football and baseball, outside of the sport?
Outside of sports.
Yeah, it's on the 18th.
I don't really know.
You gonna play video games?
I'll play video games, but it's gonna be rarely.
It's part of
Yeah.
life.
It's on the schedule. You
It's
gotta do
ingrained.
it. Man,
It's like
say
breathing, you don't count it.
So high school, because I thought it was getting late. That's why I was trying. I want to make sure I get y'all out here in the game. High school, how do you like school?
It's good.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you in private school, or regular school?
I'm regular school.
Regular school. Okay.
Damn.
You the man in
They
school?
got a good
Are you the
school.
man in school?
No, not really.
You got a choir in school?
Yeah, kind of.
They're not allowed to bust out their phones, so you don't get to show the highlights.
you
Now,
show
if
the
they can bust out the phones, you know what I'm saying, it's different.
So
I would think that, just because, like how much footage is out there of him being great, I would think that the kids are, they're
He being modest, because I done walked in on Dre watching his highlights in the living room.
What is your favorite? What is your favorite 5 colleges? And we ain't gonna name the college that you want. Yeah, can you? Is he like? Can he give us 5 colleges that he like?
Texas, USC,
Hey.
let's see, probably Texas A&M.
Now, all those programs have good baseball programs
Yeah,
as well as
yeah.
football programs. Is that a factor into your decision?
Big time. Look at that.
Georgia, and I would say I only have 4.
That's cool. I just be wanting the kids to, because you know where you want to be in that school. As long as we know what we're aiming for, it's cool. When we don't know what we're aiming at, it's just like trying to swing at a ball with our eyes closed. So you know where you're going. So if sports went away today, because I don't care about sports is cool, but I want education wise. What would you like to be if you know? If you don't know, that's cool because you're young. But what would you want to grow up to be if it wasn't sports?
I would say a mechanical engineer.
Man,
okay.
my God. Hey,
All right, we got
turn on the
hold on, I got
applause,
the
man.
hand clap.
Turn
We
on
have
the
to
applause.
reel it.
That was
Oh,
one of
no,
my
that's
favorite. And no shade to none of our other guests. No shade, and I
a real
love you
career.
and thank you all. But that was one of the best answers, and that just speaks volumes of what kind of father you is, man. And I hey, man.
Well, we let them know, man, like, sports shit ain't guaranteed. What's guaranteed is your education.
Yes, sir.
If you do make it in sports, and you blessed to go to college and get that free
Yeah,
education,
get it.
you know how your life could start out without being in debt, having a good career. But we shouldn't,
We
Yeah,
should
let's
put
shoot for the
stars.
stars.
but you still want to be realistic at the same time. That's
Yes,
where it
sir.
goes back to letting them know the value of the hard work and work ethic and what it's gonna take to get to that level.
For sure. And so I see y'all
Hey,
fly.
my
I see y'all
uncle
fly out a
was a
lot.
mechanical
I see y'all go, playing different games. How is that like? Do they affect? Like, have it became part of the norm? Being able to just get on the road and go and come back home.
Yeah, it kind of,
Like,
especially for him. I mean, we going to Georgia. I tried to get him to ride the charter bus. He's like, I'm not riding that long. We need to get on the flight. So, but yeah, it's become a norm. We've been doing it since he was 6.
For real?
And
He been traveling since he was 6.
yeah, we've been traveling. So our baseball team is a travel team.
Okay.
So we travel a lot. But it just, I'm proud of him myself because a kid his age, taking him a different vibe, he going to play,
sure.
doing all that, and he still goes out there and performs pretty well.
They stay focused.
Yeah, I'm proud of him
Yeah.
of the focus and the dedication he has to it. That's
Sure.
why I don't mind spending that money and going out
Yes,
there.
sir. No, for real, for real.
Because I know he gonna go out there and still perform.
Yes,
you know?
sir. Yes, sir.
For sure.
Yeah.
And like I say, when I'm on the internet and I see you guys flying and doing them type of things, I say, man, for a kid to stay focused after he jump off the plane, maybe it's just fun for him, man. Maybe he's having fun, so.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a lot. 'Cause I know my first plane ride, I went without my parents. I think I was chaperone. I
They
won the
sent you to
100-yard dash in Junior Olympics. And after I won, I called my mom and said, hey, I'm ready to come home. And she was like, baby, we can't come get you. I was like, I want to come home. But, you know, it's just different when you're a kid.
My
and you
first
getting out,
my
you
first
know.
flight, we went to LA for Christmas, and then the second one, I met my granddad in Boston for the All-Star game, and he was too busy gambling, and had Hank Aaron come pick me up.
Hey, yeah.
So that's the reason I got that picture with Hank
Yeah,
Aaron.
you told
My
me your
granddaddy was gambling.
But for sure, like I say, man, and it's gonna, like I say, man, a lot of kids look at his highlights and stuff like that. So, man, I think you know, when other kids look at him, you know, he can kind of guide them to where they need to be and what they need to do on how to take flights, stay focused. Because the hardest thing to do is get a kid locked in.
Hey, how do you deal with the fact that, you know, you're only about to be 11 or 11 years old, and you're a real life role model to some of these kids out here? Like, there's kids in youth football, when you go out to Texas sports, the kids real life watching you and are emulating the things that you do. So at a young age, when you're still growing and developing yourself, how you deal with the pressure of having to be a role model to some of the kids around you?
How to be a role model is just sportsmanship, man. It's like you gotta give a kid love if he scores a touchdown or gets a run, and like it's all about sportsmanship. It's not like all about just getting into arguments or getting into fights in sports or all that.
I mean, that's crazy,
That's a
man.
great
'cause,
answer, man.
You know, I watched you. I think it was at the Texas Sport. Help another guy up from the other team. And the crazy part, man, college coaches and stuff, man, bro. I don't care what they look at stuff like that, bro. Like you said, you see all the kids be cussing and people that, but the sportsmanship, you know. I'd rather take a kid with great sportsmanship before I take a dog that just all he do is cuss and want to fight. You know what I'm saying? So your daddy, wherever you getting this from, I'm looking in your eyes, it's going to take you a long way in life.
Man, you going far.
It's going to take you a long way, man.
You are, God willing, he's going far.
For sure.
But I wanted to ask you something too, because you play on these teams that play on high levels. What are some of the kids you have seen? Is this in that you can name that you think that are problems too? That they got that same potential you got?
It's them Twin City corners. Them, like, they good. They triple team me.
Which one is it?
Twin City.
Twin City?
Georgia.
Yeah, in Georgia. When
So I'm
we
glad
played
you
them-
said that.
When we played them last year, they was locking me down. I can't lie. So yeah.
So what's one of the hardest games you had tackle wise? Were they tackle?
Tackle-wise?
Yeah,
Yeah,
tackle.
that
Tackle
was-
wise, that's the hardest opponent you can face.
Mm-hmm.
What about in baseball? What's some kids you done came across that are some that stand out to you like, hey?
Those Florida kids.
Yeah,
from
those
TVT.
Florida kids.
Hey,
When we was on 80.
For real?
Yeah, we went to Florida for a World Series and yeah.
they like running the SBA. They a problem.
So let me ask you,
SBA, they North Carolina team.
so how do y'all feel when y'all? I mean, how did you feel when? Didn't y'all go up to Atlanta last year?
Mm-hmm.
And y'all played with Rubbery?
And we played Rare City.
Rare City?
And Tucker, yeah.
Okay, so how did that game? How was that? Was the competitive?
Yeah, it was
like,
very competitive. I
different?
mean, that was the national champion, right? And like he said, they gave him a good taste of his medicine. They locked him up, had a really good game plan for him. And for the rest of our team, it was a real big learning lesson from us. But after that game, we grew a whole lot as a team.
Okay.
Hey, I will say this one question I do, just because I know the type of parent you are and what you guys put into training. This is a good question. What did you take out of that game as a parent, and what have you applied to his training regimens? What did that game show you that you need to work on?
He had to get stronger. He had to recognize the coverage that was in front of him. They was bracketing him. They had to bracket him and somebody over the top. So he running his routes, but he's not accounting or paying attention to what's going on around him, right? So that was a big part of the offseason is recognizing the coverages, the leverage that these corners are playing on you, where the safety is, where that linebacker is. if where he goes as a snap going, pre-snap, things like that. You know what I'm saying? So
I think, and it goes back to like coaches, man. I don't think we spend enough time in the classroom part on the board, showing our kids how to read and things like that. Because at the end of the day, I think they do a good job of that in Atlanta, showing their kids how to read coverages and things like that. We run so many plays here in the city, and that's what we focus on. You know, plays. But they, like you said, we're not showing them that it's a man over the top, so it look open or whatever the case. Like they don't know how to, a lot of kids don't know how to read.
So that was the more mental piece, you know, the physical, you know, but the mental and the IQ piece, watching film,
for sure,
looking at the videos of that game, what he could have did better, and that's what I record a lot of his highlights. That's what y'all see, but a lot of that stuff we using that, taking it home and looking at it and be like, you could have did this, you could have did that.
For sure.
On this at bat, you could have did this, you took that pitch when, you know.
Yeah.
And then we use that in our training and then try to help it translate on the field.
For sure. So y'all are y'all going to face them this year? Do you know if they on y'all schedule?
I don't know, but we going to play Miami Gardens.
Okay. That's y'all next game?
Yeah, the big game.
Okay. And what rank are they?
3.
Yeah, 3.
3, and then Montgomery Cardinals, I think they either 4 or 5.
Okay.
So that's in the same weekend.
Okay.
So let's ask you a question. There's a lot of parents that are new to the slick world. They new to the travel world. What kind of tips or advice for a parent who's got like a 6U kid, 5U kid, they just now getting into this?
Man, see, I don't know. Well, for the younger age groups, it's changed from when they was on 6U. Like when they were on 6U, they didn't have tackle. That next year was the first year of 6U tackle. So when he was on 7U, so things have changed. I don't know how much the coaches are invested. When we were on 6U, we had a coach. His name was Eric at Pac Prom. Great guy. Was real invested in the kids. We did, you know, really well. What I will say is, in this sports thing, man, like especially in select sports, you got to be loyal to your kid. First and foremost, that comes into
over the org.
Yeah, over these orgs, unfortunately, right?
Oh, free game. He's giving out that free game. Hold on.
Especially if you putting in the time and the effort with your child and dedication, and I'm not saying the orgs are bad, or make every decision that they make is solely for them, but you have to look out for the best interests of your child first and foremost. I don't care what these orgs are talking about. It's been certain things that people thought I should have did, but all the decisions that I've made have been the right decisions.
Yeah.
Regarding him, and you know, and it's not always about, be on the lookout for the org. We've been with the same baseball team since he was 6.
Yeah.
So if orgs and people are, you know, if they're doing it the right way for the most part, and you know, people, they have, you know, whatever with them. But I'm not saying our baseball team is perfect, but it's good enough for us to have been there 6 years. You know
and not to cut you out, and I want to chime in on you with that. That's why we always have conversations over the phone. You'll catch me stumbling over my words because I don't be wanting to ask certain questions with the kids here. But me and him we was all talking about the orgs and how back in the day your kid, like me, I played for one football team. I didn't never play nowhere else.
Exactly.
Now it's kind of hard for you to find a home like the baseball team in the football world.
Yeah, it's very hard, right? And because like my baseball, I didn't play baseball. I didn't know nothing about baseball, right? So we just got lucky to find the baseball team we did with the coach that we had. He the one that helped me.
And what team is that?
The North Texas Aces.
North Texas Aces.
He the one that was like, hey, do this, do that, come over. He trained them for free for a year.
Baseball training.
That's how much confidence or you know that he had in him before me and his mom did. And I tell him all the time, I said, you had more confidence in my son than I had him in that sport, right?
For sure.
But it took him to do that, pull him under his wing, show him. Not only was he teaching him, he also taught me too what to do and how to help him progress. And like Humphrey say, in baseball, that's kind of unheard of because it's like the world of golf now, right?
Yeah.
Like it's expensive. He didn't have to sit there and do that for a year for me, you know.
Yeah.
And then during that year, we were on 6U. In the fall, we only went to practice one time a week, trying to football practice. You know, trying to balance and catch up with the team that we were on. So we honestly, in that baseball stuff, we just got fortunate and found somebody who was a good person and was invested in kids. We don't. The reason why we're able to even, you know, play at high level of baseball, like we have one team, they don't charge all that money that all these other organizations do. So it's just a group of regular everyday parents, like that got regular jobs trying to make it. You know what I'm saying? But we invested in each other and we've been together this whole time.
So you just been blessed to get.
I just
been around the right people.
Good
with that
situation.
Yeah, with that baseball. Yeah,
With
so
baseball.
because I had that in baseball is what wanted me to have that same thing for him in football.
Yeah.
So do you mind answering this question? So I see that y'all love DEA. Like if you would have started there, you think you probably would have ended there too?
I think that it happened how it's
Say-
supposed to.
Okay,
To be honest with you,
So you
right?
can see what else.
Yeah,
is out
because
there.
I'm not gonna lie to you, y'all. Pac Prom, that's one place that
It was love.
if it was really up to all the people that was there with us at the time, we still would have been there. And
I think the city loved Pac Prom.
Yeah,
Everybody,
we still-
Fort Worth loved Pac Prom.
Yeah, we still would have been there.
Turn County, we loved it to Pac Prom.
But things happen, you know.
Things happen for a
how they
reason.
supposed to happen,
for
you
sure.
know. And to be honest with you, probably when he turned 12 or 11, we probably would have went over there recording it anyway.
Yeah,
you know
for
what
sure,
I'm saying?
for sure.
But by him coming down to the 10U level last year, you know, it was successful. It was kind of rocky, but it's all about being committed and trying to get it together. You know, everything just ain't gonna fall in place the
And
first year.
it's crazy that most parents with the kids, type of kid that you have, first time they see any type of up in there rocking is, I'm putting, hey, free agent here,
But that ain't
you
how
know,
life is
and-
either.
so for
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
So
Yeah.
I see that a lot.
Yeah.
I see that a lot too, because you know he can go play anywhere. Anybody loves so parents get so big headed. Oh, it ain't working out here. Let me take him.
But you
You know,
understand,
so
but that's the mentality of an adult. That's a scary mentality because that ain't the way life works. You can't run away.
No,
You can't just because this is uncomfortable or this just don't. Unless this is something that you see blatantly is not gonna work for you.
Yeah, if it might not
Yeah,
work, but a lot of things can be worked
Worked
on, man.
out,
Like
man,
they
sure.
can be discussed, they can be talked about.
For sure.
No situation and no org is gonna be perfect. That's unrealistic to you.
Dion,
Right?
Dion, what happened this weekend? They want me to talk about this weekend, man. They said
So-
NCD was going crazy on the Dion. Tap in, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, Dion,
so-
we donated. We free game bought popcorn for Dion for Smiley.
That
man.
gives you permission to go in on them about this weekend.
So what?
Got
No,
some
Dion
popcorn
told me to
out there.
ask about like this. So were the kids they good? Were they good this weekend? They was. Shout out to the
That's
mean-
day roast too.
I mean, it was a bunch of little hymns running them route like they was.
Cause they wasn't that big.
But
What?
they very skilled and very
Disciplined.
technical and
Yeah.
very disciplined.
Speedy having a little coming out party.
Yeah, coach. But Speedy been that receiver for 3
Yeah.
years, man.
Well, he at the point in the game
Yeah.
where the line is blocking and the quarterback is advanced
Yeah.
enough, they can fully take advantage. Kind of like how you had to come out, like we at the point where you get a real quarterback. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You can actually get.
So
the thing
I
going.
mean, shout out to them. Kids is good. Like I even told them during the game when they won, I went depth up all their parents because at the end of the day, man.
So they really ball. It wasn't
Yeah,
no-
they
they
did. They
ball.
really
They
ball,
ball.
man.
Tell them they
Like,
ball.
yeah,
they really
Don't call
ball,
me with
man.
that. They ball. Don't
Yeah.
call me no more with
Bro.
all your inside
Yeah.
information, outside
Yeah,
information. Listen, they ball.
Yeah, they ball.
They ball.
Shout out to them. They got us.
Yeah,
You know?
man.
We didn't play up to what we supposed to. Yeah, we shouldn't have got beat by.
Yeah,
two
'cause
goals,
I
but-
did.
Hey,
Yeah.
Deion talking about they was using a little ball. so how
But
is
I'm
it
not
going
gonna-
against
but-
Smiley at practice?
Yeah, he.
Is he really like that
He
at practice?
tough.
Yeah.
He tough.
Nah, I see him. I like him.
Yeah, he
I like
tough.
him, man.
But yeah, we ain't gonna make no excuses.
No
for the
excuses,
ball, man.
huh?
Like, nah, ain't no excuse. They beat us.
Nah, for sure. I like I say, man, it's hard to believe a disciplined team.
See, when
talented
he's
team.
talking about it because it was hard for me to believe. I couldn't fathom it.
Yeah, I see. Yeah,
I had to call my boy. I say, man, I call
He
my
say-
boy, Uncle Boy JP. And his son over there, little TJ, the cornerback. So I called him, man, what happened? And he went to break him down. He talking about some bone. Yeah.
Nah, but I know the type of team that they playing. That's not a regular team team.
That's not a regular team.
That's not a regular team
the quarterback, they got him as the best quarterback in the nation, and then the receiver, 1 or 2 in the nation. Like they put in work, bro. Like they legit.
got him.
Part of the reason that Hot Boys
Who is that quarterback? Who is the quarterback over there?
Call him box square.
He tough.
He's a good quarterback.
Yeah.
You know,
But them kids on that, them kids on them teams playing at a high level anyway, man.
All them kids, man. Them kids are going places.
Yeah.
Man.
You know what it is? Part
They
of
going
it is
places, yeah.
they having a rivalry between Pac Prime. That whole time they got toughened by having to go up against Aiden, but they didn't have no Aiden, so they wasn't gonna be able to. Party Boys. They didn't have an Aiden, so they was gonna have to advance and play regular
And another
football.
thing
So
I
they had to
found out-
learn how to do the spreads. So they
Another
could
thing
get
I
over
found
playing
out
bully
about
ball.
them is that they've been together for a long time.
Oh, yeah.
It's a 6 years.
Been together, and I think this.
So that was the first
success.
group. They were the first group that brought in 6U tackle. So that age group.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So have y'all played bully? Did y'all have y'all faced bully? So y'all haven't.
No, we ain't played.
I'll read Christopher.
This is what I wanted. Since you just brought up that was the first group, how do you feel about the 6U tackle situation?
Man, they need to be playing that, man. Because what I saw,
Man,
I hated that we didn't get to play it.
Exactly.
You know, but I think they need to do it. I mean, in whatever capacity that they can.
Yeah.
But when that 6U tackle first came out, and they had like 12 teams, remember?
Yeah.
It was teams everywhere. Like, and even when we went to Tech Sports, 6U, 7U, and 8U, it was very competitive, man. It was a lot of teams. You had DFW Elite was still around.
Yeah, they were dogs.
TNS was around.
Yeah.
I mean, shit, man.
I don't think people understand
There
that.
was some games every.
you know what it is?
You know what I'm saying?
And this is no shots to nobody. The people who we have leading, and they're leading because they're the people who want to lead, and we haven't got other people in position. But the people who are leading don't have kids in the game.
Well, let me
So
say
they
this,
coming
bro.
at it. Traditional is easier business wise for the orgs. But if we're talking about, if y'all, not even development, if you really talking about going to battle, you really talking about nationals, you got to start at 6U because they started at 5U. So we gonna be 2 years behind when you
They
shut down
started
at
at
6U.
5U in Georgia.
Well, you got to look at the, like you just said, the SED team y'all played. They started the 6U. Bro, I ain't gonna lie. When I was last year, when Steele had the Ravens, when I went over there to the Ravens and I looked at their 6U tackle team, and I had been the other play. When I went over there and them little babies, like you were talking about, they was look, and they was smacking some. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, man.
You know what I'm talking about? When I say smacking, I'm talking about like 8 and 9. They hitting. When I looked at SED over there, and they hitting, having them, they was hitting. I'm talking about hitting hard, but that's how they get the edge over there in Dallas. Cause they out there hitting at 6, bro.
Yeah, they hit.
They hitting. That team that you see, I'm gonna tell you what hitting come with discipline too. So when now you gotta know your A gap, your B gap. You gotta know this type of stuff. So that comes with the knowledge of football. So that's why they a level ahead when you start them out hitting, bro.
Exactly.
People not thinking about that. Okay, my son started. Okay, that's A gap, that's B gap, 2, 4, 6, 8, whatever.
That's
you know,
what they
zone,
really teach them,
whatever.
The fundamentals of the game.
Exactly.
Is really getting taught at that age.
Yeah.
You know,
Exactly.
The real fundamentals of hitting, wrapping up, how to actually tackle.
That's what I was saying yesterday.
Bro, and just imagine the kid don't start till he's 7.
Just
But see,
imagine.
that's how. Well, to be honest with you, when he played before our 6U season of flag, we threw him on with the 7U.
Yeah.
The kids that's on 12U right now, we threw them in the spring tackle with them, and then brought them back to flag just to give him a little dose of it.
Exactly.
He didn't even play a lot. He played defense, got him some plays, but he practiced and he figured out what it was about against older kids, and then was able to go back to flag, and then we went back on the tackle.
But I'm trying to get people the game. That's the game that they do, bro. When you see a kid out there, he 5 playing on 6U tackle, and then the game is they leave him there again on 6U tackle. So now he's the man because he dominated because that's the game.
It's
bro.
a distributional time.
That's the free game.
Like I said, I always say that. I think that between 3 and 6 That's when they, no, really, it's when they're born in 6. That's when they retain the most information. The older a kid gets, the less information they retain. So teaching that, you can get some good form tackles if this is what we're teaching at 6 years old.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. Part of the reason,
you know what I'm saying, just drilling it.
Outside of Dre being big, part of the reason he's advanced is because his first year he played with Joe White on the same. He played the same level that the Party Boys are. Mm-hmm. So he started a year early, and then COVID hit, and that's when we went to SCD for that spring. And then so he had 2 seasons on 6U, so he really started as a 5-year-old. And that extra year, his movement, he knows hand placement because he's been in contact, so he knows where to stop you. As a 7-year-old, when you start doing full contact football, it's like, I know as a lineman, I can come back here and kind of shoulder bump a dude, he's going to fall to the ground. Well, you don't know that if you ain't never had the pads on.
It was an adjustment period for us when we went.
Yeah.
You went from flag, you was kicking ass in flag, right? Came to tackle. The first couple games of tackle, we lost some games. It was rocky.
Nah, for sure.
And then we
kind of came along.
Yeah, but it was an adjustment.
And then you probably talking about a kid that's naturally. So think about a kid that ain't even just naturally.
Yeah.
You feel me? Just imagine if you were dealing with a kid that wasn't even like that in flag. You know what I'm saying? So it's a totally, bro, a lot of stuff. But then too, like I said, at the end of the day, it's. I just think we're gonna be so far behind the ball when the kids are starting tackling at 7, and then you got to think when you start tackling at 7 in traditional, you technically ain't gonna get a lot of reps unless you really a dog because it's gonna be kids on their top year.
Yeah, I'm glad.
So you get what I'm saying? So now, you see what I'm saying? So now your kid not even gonna get no reps until he 8 years old.
Yep.
So I don't know how. I don't know how that's gonna work because he never had to play it.
Thank you for saying that. People be thinking I'm being arrogant.
I wish I was out now, right? I say, and there's no. I'm just saying, I don't see how we gonna compete with it.
Well, my only question is that if we doing, it's gonna be dual age or traditional. How is that gonna work with the teams that's trying to go to battle? Because all the nationals are still 8, like 6, 7 years.
Yeah.
I really don't like the fact of the league trying to make the teams change for them instead of the league changing for the teams, because y'all pay them. They're the most expensive league. If we paying you, you need to be moved. Like, hold on, these guys right here pay me. I adjust the way I do the show based off of how they want that shit.
We'll give them like 20 more.
No, you good.
Okay, so I think guys, parents like y'all and coaches that then being in that situation can really give a lot of us knowledge that's trying to get there. But at the same time, how was y'all transition from TNS when y'all went over to DEA? Was it different for us, like the practice, style of practice, the game flows, how y'all go out of town? Was it hard, or was it something like a hard transition?
The practices were a little bit more intense for the boys because it was Courtney them bringing their style from those older kids to the 10-year-olds. So it was an adjustment period, like right there, right? But it was kind of something that was needed because they're 10, 11. We only got a year or so, to be in middle school, and they out of our hands for good, right? So it was an adjustment. All the practices were hard. Man, all the teams we went to, we was over there with Vic. Those practices, was hard.
Man, I seen some
with Greg Styles over there at Pack Prime, K-Man them. They always kept the intensity up, and I think that's where a lot of our kids, to be honest with you, got the intensity that they got.
Shout out to K-Man.
K-Man, Greg Styles them, greeted them over there at Pack Prime. They kept our practices intense and had them kids with a certain mentality. You know what I'm saying? Going out and ready to play.
And that's the thing, like I say, as a parent of a younger child, I think that intense practice is so important, man.
It's important.
It's very important to be in practice. It needs to be almost like the game situation, like the competitive, everything, so you'll know how to respond. You get what I'm saying?
To being pushed from your coach gonna get on your ass, push you to be the best. Because that's, football is a gladiator sport.
For sure.
You can't be out here mentally
But everybody ain't got that intense practice like that, man. It's hard. It's hard to find it too. You might have a couple of teams, but that intense.
A lot of that's why I say it. Certain situations are for certain people, right?
Sure.
So at DEA, that's what you get, right?
For sure.
Some parents don't believe in that type of that process, or that portion of the process. They might want it to be a little bit more, not soft, but just mellow, maybe a little bit more teaching, not as much aggressiveness.
Great, yeah.
But like I said, it's a place for everybody, and it's a place for everybody's liking. It just depends on if it works for you or not.
That's the NFL's answer. Football really ain't for everybody, but you know, for money wise, one of y'all ought to at least play flag. Football, it's like being in a small car wreck, bro. Certain people are designed to survive that, like your son or other big ass people, but some of y'all, you have a car accident. My mom talks about having an accident before I was born and how her back's still jacked up. From a fender bender, bro. It wasn't even go to the hospital. So, you know, depending on who you are, you can take it. But DNA plays a lot into that.
Nah, for sure, man. And like I said, it's getting late. We appreciate you coming on the show, man.
Thanks for having us on here.
Well, hold on, man. Well, actually, we got to at least get a final word. So, since we got you on here, man, we got the exclusive, man. So, let me turn the camera real quick, man. Let's get a final word from the DEA Dragons captain himself, Prince Njoku. Let me go ahead and put your name up on there. So what's going to be the final word for you guys going into the fall season?
I hope we have a good season, and I hope we win battle.
Yeah, that's cool, but you done watched my program. I need something edgy that I can clip and turn into a reel. So, what do we have to expect from DEA going into the fall?
Y'all gonna go win?
Now, what can we expect from the Nigerian nightmare, man?
Yeah, we need that answer.
I don't know. Basically, everything that y'all been watching.
Yeah, sure. For sure.
I like that,
The show must go on. So, yeah, we know
What's going on?
All right, well, hey, we'll take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back with our guest. Big thank you for Prince and his father for coming out. Hold on, folks. We had to come back because our boy Prince has a couple of sponsors, a couple of different brands that he's representing right now. So we wouldn't be doing him any justice if we didn't give him a platform to actually, you know, promote his different brands. So what all brands are you currently associated with, and what are you currently promoting, man? So Brick Boost. Let's start each one. Brick Boost. Is you got a promo code or anything that we need to know about? Prince Will 10. If you go to is it gripboost.com? On gritboost.com. So it's one more time?
Gritboost.
And what's the code?
Gritboost.com.
No, Prince Will 10.
Prince Will 10. Okay, now what's that next brand?
Guardian.
Guardian.
Baseball.
And you guys have you had a discount on that one as well?
Yeah, Prince 10.
So Prince 10. Is it Prince 10 on all of these?
Yes.
One is Prince Will 10. And
Prince
the
Will 10 is the first one. And I'm going to clip these so we can do a little reel on it. And then the next one?
And then
Easton Baseball.
Easton.
And what's the
Yeah, you know it.
Always trying to make money and shit. Feed your family and shit.
So when did you get the job at
Responsible ass
7-Eleven?
nigga.
How long you been working at 7-Eleven?
Oh, man, listen, man.
How long you been working at 7-Eleven? Because you've been hiding from us.
That's how you get them big
I'm
dogs.
trying to tell you.
How long you been working at 7-Eleven?
I own this 7-Eleven franchise now, man.
So that's why I caught you working the cash register.
I work the cash. I'm like Mr. Abu in the hood. You know the nigga.
If you needed a second job, man, you could have came to me.
Nah, man. Listen, man. I couldn't just bring it to you that I was doing like this. So